There we go, we're recording. Hello, welcome to today's video. I'm excited I have a guest here with you who I'll introduce in just a few moments. But first of all, I just wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing. How are you holding up with this Corona craziness? I hope this finds your toilet paper plentiful. And if not, let me know. I could spare a roll for you if you need it. Last week, I had posted a question asking for some good cry movies because I really needed a good cry movie. And I don't know how many of you have needed that, where it's like this whole crazy mix of, I feel like things are gonna be okay, so I feel calm overall, but man, my world is turned upside down. My kids are home and now I'm a homeschool mother and trying to get them motivated to get their work done. And I have things that I've been working on that I've had to cancel or reschedule or stay up later at night to get that done. So I feel like there's this whole mix of emotion, ups and downs and twists and turns, where I just kind of needed that movie. And thank you so much. I mean, there were so many of you who, Jennifer and Melissa, April, Heather and Nancy, and Tanya and Tracy. Becky, thank you so much. Nanette and Hannah, thank you for your recommendations for a movie. And Lizzie and BJ, Tina and Shelly. I mean, so many of you. And Nancy, your hearts are there with me and my heart is there with you as we are just experiencing a new form of life right now, a new reality that we're going through. And so that was really helpful for me. And I wanted to take that a little bit further and a little deeper, as it's nice to, cleanse that emotional palate, so to speak. And also, I'm feeling pretty disconnected. I just feel like, oh, I just want to go hug somebody. I hug my kids and my husband a lot, but man, I miss you ladies. I miss hanging out with the girls. So today I invited a sweet, dear friend of mine, Deanna Batte, to come and walk us through an exercise that will help us, release that emotion even further and also feel more connected. And she is a mindset coach. She is an energy worker. She works with female entrepreneurs to help them get the money and freedom that they desire. And the key to that is a lot of what we talk about in this group is the inner work. Is working through and processing what's going on inside so that we can manifest what we want outside in our lives. We really control that universe inside so that we can change the universe and things that are going on outside. So Deanna, I am going to just stop talking now and just give you a minute to introduce yourself. I'm so glad you're here, first of all. Thank you for being here. And would you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited. It's so fun to see you. Like, I feel like we're almost in the same room.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. I think that we need to have, as women, I think that we need to plan our little group, social groups. I did one last week with some women. It was really fun to just to visit, because we miss that. We really do miss that. And I appreciate you having me on today. I am a mindset coach, but a lot of the work that I do, it's kind of a big full circle thing, because we do a lot of inner work, because that is what we need to shift in order for the mindset to get where it wants, right? Or the things that we want. And as we're going through this, really, I don't even have words for it. It's incredible. It feels like it's closed in. I mean, there's just so many different ways to look at this. And when we get into the fear of it, then it makes it really hard to navigate through this. So what I'm going to say is I would like to have everybody just take a deep breath and give yourself a little credit, because this is our FFT. FFT. It's our freaking first time to ever have this experience. And it's kind of like parenting. Nobody gave us a handbook, and nobody gave us a handbook for this. And we're all doing our very best. So just give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a big hug, and be grateful that you're able to navigate through this and get out of judgment of yourself, for heaven's sakes. we're doing the best we can. We've never been homeschool moms. We've never had to stay in or have all of our kids in with us, or have our husbands home if we have our husbands home, or what if we have jobs that are considered non-essential? You know, that's kind of heartbreaking to be on the list that it's like nobody needs us. Well, our clients need us. You know, the people need us. And I think sometimes we take this a little too seriously and start getting in judgment and blame and that kind of thing. And so what I want to teach you today is a tool that I use every day with myself. I actually was just using it now because I get a little bit nervous when I do these. I'm human. I get a little nervous when I do these lives because if I mess up, then it's out there. I guess that's okay. I'm human too. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about tapping. And for those of you who don't know much about it, it's called EFT. It started out as emotional freedom technique. And the reason why it's called that is because it has the ability to move your emotions and your stress out of your energy field, so that out of your body. It actually has been scientifically proven to raise your immune system by 120% if you tap every day for at least 5 minutes. I mean, what's 5 minutes?
Well, we can all use that immune boost right now for sure.
Yes. And so you get a double bonus because you're doing your immune system and you're helping your emotions to move through. And how it does that is we tap on certain points of your body. We're going to use your face because it's easier. You can see my face, but there's some other different things that I'm going to adjust my screen here because there's one that kids love to do. And it'd be great for your kids too if you could round them up and say, okay, we're going to do whatever you want to call it for you, and have them just sit down and do some deep breathing and tap. And the thing with kids and with us is that we're able to voice emotions that we're really not used to voicing. Like, this is super frustrating. I hate being in the house with my kids. Okay. Probably don't want to say that in front of your kids, but when you have the privacy, you know, you hate it because why? Because it's frustrating. It's not anything you've done before. You're not used to this. They're acting up, all of those things that happen in normal families. So when we're able to voice those and not stuff them down thinking we're going to cause something terrible, it's really a really nice release for us, but it also helps us not to hold on to that, because the more we fight it, the bigger it gets. And when you're trying to stuff it down, don't you find that to be true, Charity?
It's very true. And I like what you said, how being able to voice those things that we think, because, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I'm so frustrated having my kids home, we judge that and think, oh, I'm a bad mom because I'm frustrated because my kid's home. Therefore, you know, I don't like my kids. That's what we jump to that conclusion without really realizing it. So just recognizing like, it's frustrating because these things are happening, and it doesn't diminish your love for your kids. We process this, and then we can return to love and return to that space where we can enjoy being with our kids, even though there are frustrations that come with that. So I thank you for sharing that. So go on and continue. This is great.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. So what the point of doing how I work with my clients is to help them to honor those feelings, like you were just talking about, Charity, to realize that that's just a human emotion. It's just a thing, and we're going to feel it. And this is a really quick and easy way to kind of just release, because you feel that. I know I do. When I get frustrated and I get upset, you can just feel like you want to explode, you know? And I say, my head's going to explode here, guys. So how about we don't do that? That's, you know, that's how I talk in my family. We're kind of real. So anyway, I'm going to show you the tapping points, and you can tap on all of them if you want to. You can tap on your favorite ones, whatever. Like, my family will see me walking around like this if I get triggered by something, or if I'm just feeling, you know, being hard on myself. They see me doing this. So it's actually can be kind of a signal, and you can let your family know, hey guys, okay, I just need to take a breath here. I'm okay, and you're okay, but I'm going to go over here and just do some of this. So there's a point on the top of your head here, and these are all of your You've heard of acupuncture. These are all of your meridians, and it's similar to acupressure and acupuncture because you're connecting the energy into those meridians so that it can activate those, and they're connected to your nervous system. So it activates all of that, and then it releases that energy out of, sorry, I have to pull my socks off because I'm so hot. Activating that energy so that you can release that and get a better feeling. So there's a point on the top of your head. There's right here by your, like where your eyebrow, go down a little bit further, right where your eyebrow is, right there, right where your eyebrow, yes, right there. So we want to tap there. I use 2 fingers always, but you can use whatever you want. Then there's, I gotta take these off. There's right on this bone right here, like right to the side of your eye on this bone. Yep, right there. And then there's right in the middle, like if you look at your pupils and go down right in the middle on that bone here. And then there's under your nose and under your lip. And if you feel your collarbone right here and just kind of go outward a little bit, and there's kind of a little hollow right there down underneath it here on the sides. That's a really nice one to tap. I like, that's kind of one of my favorite ones. And there's many more, but there's also this underarm one. So on women, about where your bra strap is, you just want to tap on that. And you can probably hear me thumping on it. It's a nice one. And kids love this because they can do this, like and act like a monkey and be silly, but you know what? It takes that, whatever it is, they're all wound up, it takes that down. And they can, they can do all this. And you can make it really fun for your kids, and it helps everybody because it kind of releases the tension. And I don't know, when I worked with little kids a lot in my former life, when all my kids were little, I was always working with the little kids. And so we did a lot of things that were kind of off path a little bit, and like we do race cars and things to kind of get that energy out. And this is a tool that you can use with your kids that will help just bring that energy right down, whether they're just too wound up or they're upset or they're mad or anything like that. You can tap with them and it just brings everything down. So put these back on so I can read my.
Great tool as we're home with our kiddos, just round them up. I've heard of, I have a friend named Mary who was doing yoga with her kids and tapping with her kids. It would be such a great one to implement as well. So this is great to learn this for the kids as well.
Yeah. So, and even your husband, I know, I'll tell you one more thing and then I'll get into the tapping. But as I calm down, I notice my husband calms down and my children calm down. Everything calms down in your house. It's like you're in charge of the atmosphere. So if we just remember that we're the ones that are in charge, it kind of shifts how we can look at things. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree. And when you're talking about the energy work, some people may or may not be familiar with that, but we're energetic beings. We emit energy. And if you want to go deeper in that, you can, because I'm interviewing you here. But sometimes you might not realize that, like when you walk into the room, you can feel the energy, you can feel the anger. And when that is inside of you, that's what you're emitting. When you're frustrated, that's what you're emitting. And then it messes with everyone else's energy. And so I think that's a very good, important thing that you just pointed out, that it starts with us. If our household's chaos and everybody's going crazy, okay, let me tune into me. What do I need to do to bring myself back to center? Because that energy will be, caught. My kids will catch that energy, and my husband, and it'll throw us all off if I'm off. So yeah, if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You've heard that. There is a reason for that, a literal scientific reason for that.
That is so, so true. I kind of look at it as I have this picture in my head of when you throw a pebble into the water, or I like to call it a boulder, because the boulder really gives it this more edgy backlash going on. We are that boulder. We are, as women, sometimes we don't give ourselves the credit for being we're actually really a lot more powerful than we let ourselves be. So with that said, a lot of times we have this mental war in our head, and it's about the expectation of our external reality. And so, and that, when that isn't going how we expected, or this is huge, this is a huge shift for everyone. And, you know, what we need to look at is if we can find some quiet time. It's really important, even if your kids aren't taking naps anymore, you can say, okay, I need to have quiet time for X amount of time. And y'all go to your rooms and do what you need to do there. I don't care what you do, but I need to have a break. And that helps us to do the work that we need to calm down, to take some breaths and figure out what we want our reality to be. And as we set that goal for ourselves, I hate you say goal because that makes it sound hard. But if we set that intent for ourselves, what do we want? How do we want our homes to be? How do we want to feel? And then we figure out how we're not feeling that way. We're afraid, we're feeling disconnected, we're frustrated, we don't know if there's going to be enough money or toilet paper, like you said. You know, I had a sick dog and she took up a lot of my paper towels, and I'm telling her yesterday, listen, we're in a shortage here, quit doing this.
Right.
So it can flip us into some anger. Some of us get into rage. I mean, some of her just like that. And it can, sometimes my kids used to say, quit yelling at us, Mom. And my voice didn't raise, but my words, I said, I'm not yelling at you. Your words are yelling, you know, and it was the energy. They didn't have the vocabulary back then to understand. And I didn't understand it back then either, that it was the energy that I was putting out when what I was saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on some of these things. And another thing, one more thing, I know I keep saying that. We're all familiar, or could be familiar, with law of attraction. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Charity, yeah. So we were taught with law of attraction that what we put out, we get back. And sometimes people are afraid to actually say the words that you say during tapping because they don't want to create something that's bad if you're saying bad words. Okay. I've had this with my clients before. I had one that I really had to work with to get her to realize that this was a form of release and peace, so that it's like the missing link in law of attraction. When you can get your vibration, your energy to the point where you're feeling more peaceful, that's when the good things can come in. But if you're manifesting or attempting to manifest from a place where you've got all these other things going on, then you end up either not being able to manifest or manifesting more of what you've got.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. So you've got this purple light thing going. I love that. No, don't show it. It sounds like, oh, look at her, and it's still there.
We should get a, purple stripe there.
I love that. Anyway, it was like your angels were going, hey, look at this girl. She's got this purple stripe here. I like it. So remember that just because you're saying words that might not be positive words, that's exactly what you want. You want to tune in and tip exactly how you're feeling. So if you're feeling something that's not positive, that's a good thing if you're going to tap, when you're going to tap, because then that releases that energy from your body and you're able to come from a much more settled and grounded place. Okay?
I love it.
Okay, so everyone, sit in a comfortable spot with both your feet on the floor and take a deep breath. And if you want to, you can close your eyes and just breathe clear down into your stomach. A big, full, long breath. We'll do one more. Okay. Now we're going to start tapping. I'll say a phrase, and then I'll stop and I'll let you repeat that after me. And we'll tap on the tapping points as we do it. So you may want to open your eyes a little bit and take a look until you kind of get used to, because I'm not going to say, okay, now shift to this one. You can just do it how you want to. Okay. You can't do it wrong. So don't quit because you feel like you're not keeping up. You just do how you do. Okay. So even though I'm feeling very frustrated right now.
I'm feeling very frustrated right now.
I honor myself
I honor myself
for all of my feelings.
for all of my feelings.
And even though
And even though
I'm not feeling great right now,
I'm not feeling great right now,
I'm pretty frustrated.
I'm pretty frustrated.
You can shift now. There's so much going on.
There's so much going on.
I totally love and accept myself.
I totally love and accept myself.
Today was a bad day.
Today was a bad day.
So much frustration
So much frustration
and so much fear.
and so much fear.
Am I going to have enough food for my family?
Am I going to have enough food for my family?
And how about toilet paper?
And how about toilet paper?
I'm rationing toilet paper.
I'm rationing toilet paper.
Never thought I'd be doing that.
Never thought I'd be doing that.
I feel like such a bad guy sometimes.
I feel like such a bad guy sometimes.
And I have so much frustration.
And I have so much frustration.
Why do I have to stay in?
Why do I have to stay in?
I know why I have to stay in,
I know why I have to stay in,
but I don't like it.
but I don't like it.
I want to send my kids to the park
I want to send my kids to the park
without me.
without me.
I want some quiet time.
I want some quiet time.
I want not to have to be in charge every single minute.
I want not to have to be in charge every single minute.
And whose idea was this homeschooling thing anyway?
And whose idea was this homeschooling thing anyway?
I'm not great at that.
I'm not great at that.
I don't even know how to do this.
I don't even know how to do this.
And I'm supposed to teach.
And I'm supposed to teach.
I don't know if I can do it.
I don't know if I can do it.
I hope that I'm good enough at it.
I hope that I'm good enough at it.
What if when my kids go back to school,
What if when my kids go back to school,
they have no idea what's going on?
they have no idea what's going on?
And cooking meals all the time.
And cooking meals all the time.
And sometimes the kids don't want to eat it.
Sometimes the kids don't want to eat it.
And my husband just stays quiet because he'll eat whatever.
And my husband just stays quiet because he'll eat just whatever.
But I can see he's not happy either.
But I can see he's not happy either.
Maybe it's because I'm not happy.
Maybe it's because I'm not happy.
I feel so disconnected.
I feel so disconnected.
There's so much pressure.
There's so much pressure.
Pressure to be perfect.
Pressure to be perfect.
Pressure to know what to do.
Pressure to know what to do.
So hard.
It's so hard.
I feel all clogged up emotionally.
I feel all clogged up emotionally.
I have to hold this together.
I have to hold this together.
I feel like I can't do anything right.
I feel like I can't do anything right.
I'm yelling.
I'm yelling.
I'm closing myself off.
I'm closing myself off.
And I just feel so frustrated.
And I just feel so frustrated.
There's so much doubt.
There's so much doubt.
I'm the grown-up here.
I'm the grown-up here.
I'm supposed to know what to do.
I'm supposed to know what to do.
I put so much pressure on myself.
I put so much pressure on myself.
Sometimes I even get into so much rage about it.
Sometimes I even get into so much rage about it.
And I feel like such a bad mom when I do that.
And I feel like such a bad mom when I do that.
And my job.
And my job.
I'm supposed to be a career woman.
I'm supposed to be a career woman.
And how am I supposed to do that?
And how am I supposed to do that?
Doing everything online.
Doing everything online.
That was a learning curve for me.
That was a learning curve for me.
And I'm used to being around people.
I'm used to being around people.
I need people.
I need people.
But I realize now
But I realize now
that we're all in this together.
that we're all in this together.
We all have our emotions.
We all have our emotions.
And I honor that.
And I honor that.
I honor myself.
I honor myself.
I'm doing the best that I can.
I'm doing the best that I can.
And there's more.
And there's more.
There will be more.
There will be more.
And as new things come up,
And as new things come up,
I'll take a breath.
I'll take a breath.
And the way to handle it might not come automatically.
And the way to handle it might not come automatically.
But as I tap
But as I tap
and do the things that I can do,
and do the things that I can do,
that will help me calm my energy.
that will help me calm my energy.
And the energy of my family.
And the energy of my family.
And all of the things that I say to myself.
And all the things that I say to myself.
I can tap.
I can tap.
I can release.
I can release.
And I can even put the good things there.
And I can even put the good things there.
Like I'm pretty darn amazing.
Like I'm pretty darn amazing.
I've made it 100% so far.
I've made it 100% so far.
Every day is something new.
Every day is something new.
And I've got this.
And I've got this.
I don't have to be perfect.
I don't have to be perfect.
Loving myself is the essential thing.
Loving myself is the essential thing.
And recognizing that I don't have to be perfect.
That I don't have to be perfect.
That I can just be me.
That I can just be me.
And I have tools.
And I have tools.
To release the energies.
To release the energies.
That make me uncomfortable.
That make me uncomfortable.
And I honor myself.
And I honor myself.
For the good of my family.
For the good of my family.
For the good of myself.
For the good of myself.
For the good of all.
For the good of all.
Take a deep breath. How does that feel?
That feels really good. And so some feedback on that, my experience for those of you who are watching this. Part of me, I thought maybe I should have shut my mouth and just made the screen just on Deanna so that you can do that and not hear me echo. But some of the phrases that you were saying in my head was like, well, that isn't me, or that isn't me. You know, so I kind of was resisting some of it. A lot of it was, yeah, feeling the clog of energy, feeling like the frustration, unsure, that type of thing. So some of the phrases where you were like, and I'm yelling at my kids, I feel like I haven't been yelling, but yeah, I'm bottling it. And so, but as I just said it anyway, it gave me permission to say, well, you know, if that were to happen, it would be okay. If that were to be the scenario, that it would be okay. And then as you progress through it and shifted to like, yeah, it's okay. I just need to love myself. And then I noticed I'm wearing the shirt and that we did not plan this. Love.
Perfect.
So as you're going through that tapping, just let the words flow and feel where you're resisting, because it'll shift you. But by the end, I feel like, oh yeah, it's okay. Whatever happens, if that were the case, if I were to do those things that were said, or if it comes up in the future, I know that it's okay. We're human and we are having these experiences that are totally new. What did you call it? The first freaking time? FFT?
Yes, the
FFT. Yeah, you know me. And that's okay. So I encourage you to try that. If you've never done tapping, that was a really, I feel great. I feel really good. And I think it's good to just say whatever it is, positive or negative, and then shift into, yeah, it's okay. I still love me. So thank you. That was really good.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I wanted to add a little bit to that as I work with my clients, we have a conversation so that the words that we work with are their words.
Right.
So I was just kind of making things up from all the things that I've heard, and I'm hoping that that will fit with some of the women that are here, or all the women. They'll find something that's good. Sorry, my puppy.
Oh, cute. Yeah, that makes sense. I knew you were just kind of taking things that you've heard, but
Yeah.
as we're listening to this recorded version, you might find yourself resisting, or it may or may not fall into what you've done. But I just like acknowledging that that could happen, or it may have happened in the past. It's totally fine. And
Yeah.
yeah, when you do it face to face with just one person, I'm sure it's going to be more personalized to their situation for sure.
Yes. And another thing too is it's a really good idea to tap in good things.
Mhm.
Like if you're feeling really good about something, celebrate that and tap that in, because that brings that vibration into your body and you're feeling really good about yourself, more so than if you were just saying, yeah, well, that was cool, I got that done. And give yourself credit for all the things that you do, all the things that you are accomplishing. And don't be so hard on yourself.
Mhm. I love that. It's so true. And, like when we see just the quick example of when we have toddlers learning to walk, we're like, whoa, you took a step. That's okay if you fell, it's totally fine. But then over time, we don't do that to ourselves. We think, oh, I fell flat on my face. And then we sit and wallow in our dirty diaper, so to speak, and feel like, well, walking's never for me. I guess I can't walk. But you didn't do that as a toddler. And so the fact that you're saying celebrate those successes, tap that in, like, yes, feels so good, I'm so excited about this. I think this is a really powerful tool to help me and help all these women who we've got the flow of energy that we gets clogged up sometimes. So that's really powerful. Are there any parting words of advice that you would have for us, Deanna?
Well, I think the celebration of every little thing. If you do one load of laundry and you get that folded and put away, or even if you don't, you did a load of laundry or whatever it is, if you are taking a course and you've completed just a piece of that course, step back and, like you said, with the baby, give that love to yourself, feed that inner child, because that inner child is still in there and still wanting to have the love and acceptance that we don't give ourselves. A
Yeah.
lot of the time we're so busy trying to be the adult, we forget that we have those feelings too.
Mm, so true.
So I just feel like it's so important to nurture ourselves as well as all of those around us, our families and our animals and all of those other things.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell you, if you wanted to contact me, I guess you'll have to find me on Facebook, because I was just revamping my website right before all of this stuff hit. And so it's kind of in a state of flux right now.
I called her, this is live, right? We all
Yes, it is.
That's
So I don't have a website yet. Most of my business so far has been by referral or through speaking engagements and that kind of thing. So I am happy to work with you, and I'm also going to be doing a series of Facebook Lives, and so hop on there and see if there's something else that might help you.
Okay. All right. So connect with Deanna Batte. And if you have any questions, comments, or hey, we'll take smart remarks, put them in the comments, and Deanna and I will follow up with you. And if you have requests of videos and different topics that we can dive deeper into, just let me know. We're open to this. So thank you, Deanna. This was great to have you on today. Thanks for teaching us and walking us through this exercise. And thank you so much for being you. You're awesome.
Thank you, Charity. I appreciate it.
You guys have a great day.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, so then I'll just cut that out.
You're
All right,
still
thank you very much. Yeah, I'm still,
okay.
I'll stop recording. That's what I should